Grouper is the common name for several species of fish belonging to the subfamily Epinephelinae, in the family Serranidae and the order Perciformes. They are widely distributed in tropical and subtropical seas around the world, characterized by their large, muscular bodies, big mouths, and powerful suction that help them catch prey from a distance. Instead of tearing apart their prey, groupers swallow it whole and crush it using their throat teeth. Their primary diet consists of small fish, octopuses, and crustaceans. The commercially valuable and widely known grouper species often belong to the genera Epinephelus and Mycteroperca, along with others such as Plectropomus, Cephalopholis, and a few smaller genera. They are commonly caught or farmed to serve the high-end seafood industry in various countries like the Philippines, Indonesia, the Middle East, and Latin America. Some grouper species are even used in traditional dishes such as gulai kerapu in Indonesia. Due to their firm, sweet flesh with few bones, groupers are often sold alive to maintain their freshness. Among them, the giant grouper Epinephelus lanceolatus, also known as the giant grouper or Queensland grouper, is considered the largest grouper species in the world. Adult individuals can reach lengths of up to 2.7 meters and weigh more than 400 kilograms. They are primarily found in warm seas such as those around Australia, Southeast Asia, and some regions of the Indian and Pacific Oceans. The giant grouper is not only economically valuable, but also plays a crucial role in marine ecosystems, especially due to its ability to hunt invasive species like the red lionfish. Due to high demand and the decline of natural populations, many grouper species are now farmed and have become a significant industry in aquaculture, particularly in the Asia-Pacific region. Notably, species from the genus Epinephelus, such as the orange-spotted grouper E. coioides, the tiger grouper E. fuscogutatus, and the giant grouper E. lanceolatus, are considered excellent candidates for farming due to their fast growth, good meat quality, and high market demand, with prices ranging from $15 to $40 per kilogram. The farming process begins with establishing a well-organized system that includes hatcheries, grow-out tanks or sea cages, coupled with water filtration systems and oxygen supply. In artificial farming environments, water temperatures need to be maintained at a stable range of 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, which is the optimal condition for grouper growth. Environmental parameters such as pH levels, dissolved oxygen, ammonia, and nitrate concentrations need to be regularly checked to ensure water quality and prevent diseases. The water supply for tanks must come from clean, non-polluted seawater that is properly filtered and disinfected using UV light or ozone to eliminate pathogens. The choice of healthy broodstock with clear lineage and good reproductive conditions, usually from 3 to 5 years of age, is crucial for successful grouper farming. Broodstock should have high resistance to disease, uniform appearance, vibrant color, and no deformities. In breeding tanks, the male-to-female ratio is typically maintained at 1:2 or 1:3 to optimize fertilization success. In many hatcheries today, hormonal injection techniques are used to induce females to spawn in synchrony. After fertilization, the eggs float to the surface of the water, where they are gently collected and transferred to incubation tanks, maintained at a temperature range of 27 to 29 degrees Celsius. Within 24 to 36 hours, the eggs hatch into fry. The larval and juvenile stages are highly sensitive and crucial. The fry are raised in small tanks with a suitable density, fed plankton such as rotifers and Artemia larvae to ensure adequate nutrition and high survival rates. As they grow to the juvenile stage after about 20 to 30 days, they are gradually fed small fish, minced shrimp, or high-protein commercial feed. At this point, the fish are strong enough to be transferred to larger grow-out tanks or sea cages. The most common grouper farming model today is cage farming in open seas, especially in coastal regions with deep waters and stable currents, such as Hainan Island, China, Sabah, Malaysia, central Vietnam, and southern Thailand. The cages are typically square or round with floating frames made of buoys and mesh walls underneath to prevent the fish from escaping and to protect them from rough weather. The advantage of cage farming is that the fish grow quickly. The environment is closer to their natural habitat and it requires fewer costs for water filtration. However, this model also demands good control over environmental factors, stocking density, and regular health checks for the fish. In the farming process, disease management is a key task. Groupers are highly susceptible to bacteria such as Vibrio spp, fungi, and parasites like Cryptocaryon irritans. To prevent disease, farmers need to vaccinate the fish, use probiotics, supplement the feed with vitamins and minerals, and maintain clean tanks and cages. In addition, quarantine measures for newly introduced fish, regular testing through PCR or ELISA, and early detection of pathogens are widely applied. The feed for groupers can include fresh fish, but many farms now use high-protein industrial pellets, 40 to 50%, to reduce costs, limit environmental pollution, and promote uniform growth. Large companies like Grobest, Skretting, and CP have developed specialized feeds for each stage of grouper development. When the fish reach marketable size, typically from 0.8 to 2.5 kilograms after 8 to 12 months of farming, depending on the species, they are harvested. Harvesting is done gently to avoid stress, which could affect the quality of the meat. The fish are then processed, sorted, and transported live in oxygenated systems to markets. Live transportation is a priority because many high-end restaurants in Asia only use live grouper for preparing steamed, herbal, or high-quality sashimi dishes. China currently leads the world in grouper production, with more than 80,000 tons annually, according to FAO, accounting for a significant portion of global production. Southeast Asian countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, and Vietnam are also expanding their farming operations. Vietnam, with its long coastline, favorable climate, and availability of broodstock, is considered a bright spot in the regional grouper supply chain. However, the grouper farming industry faces many challenges, including disease outbreaks, climate change-altering water conditions, and competition from other farmed fish species like barramundi or amberjack. Therefore, the sustainable development of the industry depends on investments in high-quality breeding research, improvements in recirculating aquaculture system, RAS technology, automation in farm management, and adherence to international certification standards such as ASC, BAP, or Global GAP to access premium export markets. With the combination of economic potential, modern technology, and increasing market demand, grouper is proving to be gold under the sea in the modern aquaculture industry. It is not only a commercially valuable species, but also a sustainable pathway for the future of marine farming and the conservation of dwindling natural fish populations. Although the grouper farming industry is growing rapidly, especially in Asian countries such as China, Indonesia, Vietnam, and the Philippines, the capture of wild grouper still plays a crucial role in providing high-quality breeding stock, as well as satisfying the demand for wild-caught fish. Which are considered to have better taste and higher nutritional value than farmed fish. However, catching wild grouper requires a rigorous process and faces many conservation challenges. The process of catching wild grouper begins with identifying high-yield areas, often coral reefs or rocky seabeds, with many crevices where groupers live and shelter. Groupers are bottom-dwelling fish with territorial behavior and tend not to move far. Areas with rich seabed ecosystems are ideal fishing spots, especially during the spawning season when groupers gather in large numbers. In many Southeast Asian countries, fishermen rely on traditional knowledge to determine the fishing season, the time when grouper schools move to coral reefs to spawn and mate. Fishing trips are often carried out at low tide when the sea is calm, to increase access and control. The most common method of catching grouper is bottom fishing using hooks with live or dead bait. The bait typically consists of small fish or squid dropped near the seabed where the grouper is attracted and bites the hook. This method is time-consuming and requires high skill. but it helps maintain the fish's quality and minimizes bycatch. Some fishermen use artificial bait, often designed to mimic swimming fish or moving shrimp, combined with a slow retrieve to attract the grouper's attention. In shallow waters, experienced divers use free diving or scuba diving techniques to hunt grouper with spear guns, a more direct and selective approach. After catching the grouper, processing plays a crucial role in ensuring the quality of the product. The fish are often kept alive in holding tanks on boats or transport cages to maintain freshness before being brought ashore. For larger grouper, the fish are preserved with ice immediately after being slaughtered to maintain their firm texture and sweet taste. In some locations, especially in island nations like the Maldives or the Philippines, live grouper is directly exported by air to premium markets like China or Hong Kong, creating significant economic value. The process of catching wild grouper is also closely linked to the farming industry. Many grouper farms cannot secure a reliable supply of broodstock, so they depend on wild-caught adult fish to enter their breeding systems. Additionally, the collection of juvenile fish from the wild, especially those under 10 centimeters in length, to be raised in ponds, cages, or tanks, is common in many countries. However, excessive collection of juvenile fish without proper planning and size regulation is pushing wild grouper populations into a serious decline. For this reason, alongside fishing activities, many countries have implemented measures to protect grouper resources. In some areas of Indonesia and the Philippines, fishing bans during the spawning season have been introduced to allow for natural reproduction and population recovery. In Belize, a pioneer in grouper conservation in the Caribbean, the government has banned the capture of Nassau grouper during the spawning season and set minimum size limits to prevent the capture of undersized or spawning fish. The United States has long banned the capture of Nassau grouper, a species classified as endangered by the IUCN, in the entire Caribbean and Florida Keys regions. Notably, Turkey has implemented strict conservation policies, banning the capture of grouper since 2016 and extending the ban until 2028. Turkish scientists have also constructed artificial coral reefs to restore habitats, combined with electronic monitoring systems to prevent illegal fishing. These efforts not only protect marine biodiversity, but also contribute to the sustainable development of the aquaculture industry. However, alongside traditional fishing and farming, another increasingly popular and environmentally friendly approach to grouper fishing is sport fishing. Sport fishing for grouper, also known as sport fishing grouper, is not only a recreational activity, but also a cultural trend tied to a love for nature, adventure, and conservation. Among the countries with a strong sport fishing movement, the United States, particularly the state of Florida, leads the way. Warm, deep waters, such as those in the Florida Keys, the Gulf of Mexico, or around dry tortugas are paradise for experienced anglers. The most sought-after species in these waters is the Goliath grouper, Epinephelus itajara, a giant fish that can weigh up to 400 kilograms and grow over 2 meters long, once overfished, but now a symbol of the catch and release sport fishing movement. Preparing for a sport fishing trip is not simple. Anglers need to equip themselves with specialized, durable sea rods, large reels, extremely strong fishing lines, often up to 100 to 200 pounds, and attractive live baits such as small snapper, mackerel, or fresh squid. These trips usually last from several hours to a whole day, with fishing spots at deep coral reefs, shipwrecks, or submerged rocks where giant groupers are often found. When a fish bites, the battle between the angler and the fish begins. A high-tension struggle between muscle power and technique, requiring patience, experience, and even teamwork. Particularly with Goliath groupers, just pulling them up from the water can exhaust even a professional angler. Despite their impressive size and high market value, most groupers caught in sport fishing are released back into the sea. Anglers often capture the moment of victory on camera, measure the fish, tag it for scientific research, and then quickly return the fish to the ocean. This not only shows respect for nature, but also contributes to marine conservation efforts. As species like the Goliath grouper are highly sensitive to environmental pressures and have long life cycles, spawning late. Safety in sport fishing is also a priority. Participants are typically equipped with life jackets, anti-slip gloves, and onboard support equipment. Additionally, fishing tour companies always provide experienced guides to ensure both an enjoyable experience and a safe environment for participants. However, alongside these two main activities, fishing and farming, a significant amount of grouper is still harvested from commercial fishing and farming to meet the growing global demand. Once the fish is pulled from the water, whether from modern farms or industrial fishing vessels, moves on to seafood processing plants. Here, grouper undergoes a strict professional processing procedure to ensure freshness, food safety, and enhance its commercial value. The processing of grouper in seafood plants begins right at the receiving stage. The fish is transported by refrigerated trucks or insulated containers from the boat or farm to the processing facility in the shortest time possible to ensure no loss in quality. Upon arrival, the fish are inspected for size, weight, freshness, and signs of good health. Fish that meet the standards are moved on to the processing line, while those not up to standard may be discarded or processed into animal feed. The next step is cleaning, one of the most critical stages. In a closed environment, groupers are moved along conveyor belts where workers use specialized knives or machines to remove scales, gills, internal organs, and fins. Some modern plants are equipped with automatic fish cleaning systems that can process hundreds of fish per hour with high precision, minimizing direct contact and ensuring food safety. The washing water in this process is usually treated with UV sterilization or ozone systems to remove harmful microorganisms. After cleaning, the grouper is sorted according to market requirements. Whole frozen fish, fresh or frozen fillets, chunked pieces, vacuum packed, or even processed into ready-to-eat products like cooked, steamed, and then frozen. For premium markets such as Japan, Korea, Europe, or the United States, clean, skinless, boneless fillets with an attractive presentation are the most common choice. Industrial filleting machines are usually calibrated precisely to the size of each grouper species, ensuring uniform meat thickness and minimizing material loss. In addition to the main product, which is fish meat, byproducts such as the head, bones, swim bladders, skin, and internal organs are also utilized to create many valuable secondary products. Grouper skin, rich in collagen, is used in the cosmetics industry or for producing functional foods. Fish swim bladders, especially from the tiger grouper, Epinephalus fuscogutatus, are considered a delicacy in Chinese cuisine. Many processing plants have invested in gelatin and collagen extraction lines from grouper using advanced freeze drying, membrane filtration, and concentration technology. An important point to note is that modern processing plants today not only focus on product quality, but also emphasize sustainable production processes. Wastewater treatment systems are installed to ensure that the wastewater from washing fish and cleaning equipment does not harm the environment. In addition, many factories have obtained international certifications such as HACCP, ISO 22000, BRC, or ASC chain of custody, demonstrating their commitment to food safety and transparent sourcing. On the journey from the ocean to the dining table, grouper is not just a food product, but also a symbol of the combination of responsible farming, sustainable fishing, and refined processing techniques. Highlighted products from grouper at factories include not only frozen fillets, but also ready-to-eat fish soups, spiced grilled grouper, fish balls, fish sausages, and even convenient canned products. Many premium brands are developing high-end grouper products, specifically for restaurants, hotels, and luxury food supermarkets. Technology plays a significant role in modern factories, where machinery automates processes, reduces labor costs, and increases productivity. Modern plants often use sorting robots, conveyor systems with integrated temperature sensors, high-speed vacuum machines, and IQF individual quick freezing chambers to preserve the fish's cell structure. As a result, thawed grouper retains its elasticity, natural flavor, and optimal nutritional content. Investing in processing technology is not only for commercial purposes, but also helps conserve grouper resources by maximizing the use of every part of the fish. Reducing waste, from using biological enzymes to produce animal feed from fish byproducts, to creating environmentally friendly packaging from fish skin waste. The grouper processing industry is constantly innovating to meet the needs of the modern, sustainable consumer world. Thus, from the wild oceans to well-organized fish farms and high-tech processing plants, the grouper journey is a clear example of a professional, responsible, and promising seafood supply chain. In the future, grouper will not only be a luxury dish, but also a symbol of an industry evolving toward modernity and sustainability. The grouper production process at factories typically involves freezing the fish for long-term preservation and market distribution. While frozen grouper holds value in processing plants, fresh grouper offers superior quality when prepared at restaurants, where professional chefs use fresh ingredients to create unique and flavorful dishes, providing the best dining experience for customers. Let's explore this in Japan, where seafood cuisine blends refined techniques with a respect for fresh ingredients. The process of buying fresh grouper at the market, especially giant grouper, begins early in the morning when fishermen bring their catch from the sea to docks and well-known fish markets like Tsukiji, Tokyo, or Odaiba in Japan. Here, fresh grouper, with impressive size and firm flesh, is sold and auctioned among traders and chefs. Giant grouper, weighing several dozen kilograms, catches the attention of top chefs. Seeking the finest fresh ingredients for their menus. After purchasing the fish, chefs carefully transport them back to their restaurants, where the professional preparation process begins. Upon arrival at the restaurant, chefs meticulously clean the grouper. First, the fish is washed to remove scales and impurities on the skin. Scale removal must be done gently to avoid damaging the skin, preserving the fish's freshness and quality. Next, the gills, belly, and inedible parts are removed, and the internal organs are cleaned thoroughly to ensure the fish stays fresh for cooking. For giant grouper, filleting requires high skill. First, chefs use a sharp knife, starting at the backbone of the fish, cutting along the spine to create thin, even fillet slices. Precision is key to avoid tearing the meat. Ensuring each fillet is soft and free of bones. A crucial technique is cutting along the joints to prevent the meat from breaking or crumbling. After obtaining fillets, the chefs further remove the bones along the rib line and thin tail bones, leaving only the clean meat. Once the fish is prepared, the next step is cooking it into signature dishes. One of the standout dishes from grouper is sashimi. To prepare grouper sashimi, chefs slice the fish into thin, smooth pieces without bones, allowing diners to enjoy the fresh, tender texture. The fish slices must be precisely cut to remain firm yet delicate, preserving the natural flavor without being mushy or too thick. Fresh grouper sashimi is typically served with seasonings like wasabi, soy sauce, and thinly grated daikon radish to enhance its appeal. However, sashimi is just one of many ways to prepare grouper. In Japanese restaurants, grouper is also often made into chawanmushi, a savory steamed egg custard soup with ingredients like mushrooms, seaweed, and occasionally mild spices to highlight the fish's natural sweetness. Grilled grouper is also a popular option. The fillets are seasoned with salt and spices, then grilled over charcoal or in an oven, allowing the fish to retain its freshness and natural sweetness. Another grilled dish is mustard grilled grouper, where the fish is marinated with mustard sauce and spices, grilled until golden and crispy, while the inside remains tender and sweet. Additionally, steamed grouper is a must-have at high-end restaurants, especially those specializing in seafood. After being cleaned, the grouper is steamed with ginger, onions, and sesame oil. This dish not only preserves the natural flavor of the fish, but also combines the delicate aroma of the spices, creating harmony in every bite. Finally, crispy fried grouper is a highly popular dish. With a crunchy golden exterior and tender fish inside, it is often served with fresh vegetables or salad to balance the flavor. The fried grouper can be paired with signature sauces like teriyaki or sweet and sour sauce. In conclusion, grouper is not just a common ingredient in seafood restaurants, but also a symbol of elegance in Japanese cuisine. The restaurant preparation process ensures the fish's freshness and maximizes its natural flavors, offering diners wonderful dishes from this special fish species. Grouper is not only celebrated for its delicious flavor and firm texture, but also as a great source of nutrition, particularly for seafood lovers. Grouper meat is rich in protein, providing ample energy to the body, helping to build muscle and promote health. Additionally, grouper is abundant in vitamins and minerals such as vitamin A, vitamin D, and minerals like iron, zinc, and magnesium, which support the immune system and maintain cellular health. Another unique point is that grouper is also rich in omega-3 fatty acids. An unsaturated fat that helps protect heart health, reduce inflammation, and support brain function. Therefore, incorporating grouper into the diet offers numerous health benefits, especially for those aiming to maintain a healthy eating regimen. Moreover, one lesser-known fact is that grouper contains natural collagen, which helps improve skin elasticity and supports cell regeneration. This makes grouper a nutritious food for those looking to maintain smooth and healthy skin. Beyond its nutritional values, grouper also has some fascinating cultural significance. In certain cultures, grouper is seen as a symbol of luck and prosperity. In Japan, grouper, known as tai, is a special dish during the new year. Symbolizing good fortune for the year ahead. Grouper is not just a delicious dish but also brings great health benefits, making it an ideal choice for those who love seafood and are interested in a nourishing, healthy diet.